I was already a fan of Dogtooth as a character, back when he was first introduced, before we even got a taste of just how godly he was. He got the standard shonen treatment of just getting hyped beyond all belief, the ability to see into the future, and having a devil fruit alongside that. Like, if he had a devil fruit to see into the future, that wouldn't be an ability we would look too much into. But the fact that he could do it through observation hockey made him so much different from every other villain already. But the further into his fight with Luffy that we get, the more I realize he very well might be one of Luffy's greatest opponents. After a couple chapters of us flipping between Strawhats, trying to evade Big Mom, Sanji getting started on making the cake to calm Big Mom down, and Luffy taking on Dogtooth in the mirror world, we've been just seeing how powerful Katakuri is. He's been backing up all the hype that they've given him. He's been pushing Luffy to the edge of his strength. And obviously, anyone who can push Luffy is a threat, so, I had to give Dogtooth his respects, put some respect on his name. Then we get to chapter 883, the current newest chapter. Luffy attempts to go Gear 4th, and Dogtooth does something unprecedented and shown in anime. He stops Luffy from activating Gear 4th. Now that's crazy. No. But think about it though. Think about it. By doing that, Dogtooth has broken a cycle that almost every other One Piece villain has done up till now. He's not underestimating Luffy. He understands that if Luffy goes Gear 4th, it's not necessarily a done deal, but he even says it himself. Why would he sit there and let Luffy power himself up? It's almost as if Dogtooth broke the fourth wall and just addresses it point blank. It's obvious that you're gonna get stronger if you activate Gear 4th. Why would I sit here and let you do it when I could stop it? Now let's think about all of Luffy's other opponents. What did Doflamingo do when Luffy activated Gear 4th? He laughed. He shrugged it off. He made fun of the form. He didn't think much of it. He underestimated Luffy, and subsequently got bodied by the same form that he laughed at. But it's not just the fact that Dogtooth is not making the terrible decision of underestimating Luffy that makes him such a great villain, or his just overwhelming strength. But it's something else that we learn about him in chapter 883. He's not perfect, which is an idea that we've been sort of pushed to believe up till now. Luffy destroys Dogtooth's mochi house, only to see him just chowing down on food, lying on his back, exposed. Up till now, we've been told by the people around him that Dogtooth's perfect, that he's never laid down, that he's always stood, looked down on the ground itself, that he's been perfect. But this chapter we're shown that that's not the truth. That Dogtooth is human. He's got flaws. He's just perceived as perfect. Let me compare this to another character. Think about Aizen. How many flaws of Aizen's were we introduced to? No? None. Absolutely none. Aizen was a perfect character. Another character. Think Madara. How many of Madara's flaws were we introduced to? Granted, Madara did have more development than Aizen did, but even still, none to the point of exposing a flaw of his. To us, Madara was still the perfect ultimate ninja. Aizen, the clean-cut, just ultimately powerful, perfect characters. Dogtooth very much could have been one of these characters. Except now we know that he's not exactly perfect. With all this being said, I don't think it's a stretch for me to say that Dogtooth versus Luffy surpasses Luffy versus Lucci as my favorite fight in One Piece. And as long as it goes out with a bang, I'll be able to keep that sentiment. Like, comment, and maybe subscribe. And maybe the anime won't completely butcher this fight. I guess I'm asking for too much. Perfect. Raising the bar so these lames ain't close. Spooked when I spit, feel the flames of a ghost. Don't hear no moves, if I do then they toast. Tsunami flow, biggest wave in the coast. I'm posted with a post-it. On a poster you supposed to feel the motions of the ocean. Lotion, cause I'm smooth as Frank Ocean. Waviest, I'm not boasting, I'm being frank. Be frank, I roasted your verse on Nike. You'll need a bigger dosage.